Hello everyone and welcome to Exciting Nuclei channel. And today we are going to see what lists are, or you can say container data type in Python. Lists are basically a collection data type, and we are going to see it in our VS Code. So let me just quickly switch my screen. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So last time we have seen this break, continue, and pass statements. Now let me just quickly create a Python file with the name list and sorry, the naming issue. So yeah, so as you know that we have created the code file. The next part is just the basic introduction to the list. So let me just write the topic list. So what are list? That is the common question that everyone arises. Uh, what are lists? So that is the, you can say, most common question that everyone asks. So list is a, you can say, it is container data type that multiple, you can say, multiple values. So this is the common definition I can explain about the lists, and that's you can say that's the more than enough for explaining one. Now, when we are talking about lists, so lists are basically heterogeneous things. Heterogeneous. Why I am saying this? So before moving on to the properties of this, let me just quickly tell you how to create one. So next is how to create. Let me just give me a second. Yeah. So now I am ready. Now I am ready. So how to create? I don't know. Yeah. Create a list. So list is actually created by simply putting square brackets and assigning it to some variable. You can say L. So that's simply a list, and now this list is quite empty. So to check whether you have created a list or not, just use the type function type of L, and when you run this, you get to see the output, which is which says that the class of this object is list. That means we have created our first list, and that's a good part of it. Now let me just quickly tell you about the properties of it. So properties of list. So first is a list are heterogeneous and list are mutable. So I am going to actually explain all those things. Don't you can say don't take it to the heart that I am writing some heavy words and you don't know. So it can also contain duplicates. And the last but not the least, the elements are separated by comma. So that's all about the properties of list. I hope you wrote it down, and let me just quickly give a brief introduction about all of this. So we have created our basic list L above. Now, before moving on to this heterogeneous thing, or maybe I should just start with heterogeneous. So what heterogeneous means? So as you know, heterogeneous means contain can contain different types. So that's the simple explanation of heterogeneous property of list. That means list can contain different data types. So one of these example of list are 1 comma 2.13, oh sorry 23, then true, then what else can be there? Yeah, then complex number. Also, what else should I write it here? So let us just limit it to also accepted branding. Yeah, okay. So as you can see that if I am going to print this list L1, what I am going to get is quite surprising, that we are not typecasting any of these you can say elements or numbers, or you can say boolean, complex or string or anything else, but it just give us the same, that this L1 contains different data types, and these are all sitting in one area, all, and that area is basically like a container which is holding these different things like you can consider it as your bag, which can contain laptop, books, pens, your phone, your charger, and anything else. So it's quite the similar like the your regular bag, which can contain any object, and object here is like these elements or data types. So is a heterogeneous property of the list. Next property is list can be mutable. So mutability of list. So mutability, or you can say mutable, means the lists can be changed and updated after the creation. So there's quite the only statement that explain this mutability problem. About the example, we will discuss it in some time in this video only, but just a few after discussing this property in really brief. So also the next properties can contain duplicate, which is quite familiar, and also you can say quite easy to understand for all. That means a list can store multiple ones, 2.23s, trues, and this complex and the strings or anything else. That means a list can have multiple same type of objects, and the next is element are separated by comma, which is quite obvious in this case, that I have put a comma after every, you can say, element. So these are the properties of list. Now coming on to the basic operations that we can do on lists. So to the basic operations on list. So let's say if we have defined this L1 list, right? So, L1 can have, so this list can have different type of operations with it, which is adding, an element to it. Next is joining to list. Third is finding features like min, max, len, and at the last in and not in. So these are some operations that list can handle. So first we are going to see all of them one by one. So the mutability, I think you have your answer that how this can be modified after its after its creation. So I will also show you by the code how this, you can say, so there is function called hash. What it does is, it's quite simple. Return the hash value for the given. So what does is, hash, hash is like you can say is statement. That means both the object are pointing to the same thing. That is hash. Let's take it. Also, there is an ID. So what ID is that it returns the unique, or you can say the IDs tell us that how an object is uniquely stored in our storage. So that means if list is immutable and we are going to do some operation on list, then our ID is going to change. So we are going to verify this with our basic operations and using this ID method. So first operation is adding an element to list. So that's quite simple. You just have to use append function, which is recommended in VS Code. So as you can see, we have a doc string. A doc string says that append an object to the end of list. That means what append does is, you can say add object to end of list. So that's the, you can say we can insert yeah, some element. So if we want to append like the by Python explained clearly. So I want to append this string to the list, and after that I am going to print L1, or maybe I should use f string, which I have explained previously. That f string is also called as format string, which basically help us write some, you can say, complex statements, which we have to sometime put some extra commas and extra inverted commas there. So to avoid that, we use f string. So a list. So our list is actually, so this curly bracket shade is like a container which hold the variable from outside L1, and also ID of this list is ID list. So I'm going to put this statement control Z. So I'm going to put this statement above and below of this append situation and see how the ID changed and the list changed. To see that change, we are going to actually run this statement. So let me just you can say comment this print out, and let's just put run situation. And as you can see, the ID of both the things are actually quite same, and this indicates us that lists are mutable. That means there is no creation of some additional space in our storage. The existing storage is utilized for updation in this element. So I believe I am sounding too complex. So to you can say simplify the statement, you can say your bag have an extra space and you add one more book to it, and your bag is not changing in this situation, but your bag is getting some new things in it. So that means your bag is same. So that means your bag is actually mutable. That means your bag size can be changed, or you can say bag can hold some more things than before without changing the bag itself. So that's all. So as also you can see that the first list contain these element which we have seen, and then list contain the extra element that we have now added, that is Python explained clearly, and the ID for both the list are same. So you can verify it by manually seeing 281064, or also why not we just do one thing, we can just check ID here. Let's say ID1 is equal to ID L1, and we can say also we are going to see the ID of this, you can say ID of this statement, and we are going to compare these two, and also print ID check. I don't know if it is going to work or not, but I think it is going to work. ID 2, and let's just run, and it is giving us false. And why it is? Because we have created some, oh, we have actually created some new list in this situation, but as you can see that we have to manually verify that. We can just remove this statement from here, and also remove this ID check from here, and also, oh, I think I have split the editor. So now as you can see that our ID is 2543231181184. That is same, but I don't know why it is saying false. So that's the thing I am afraid of. But now you can see that the lists are mutable in nature. So moving forward, so the adding, so we can add the element here. Now I want to suggest you trying the more function to add elements in list, which are insert and extend. So I believe you should try your own and explore it, which might help you in learning something. So when you try to search something on by yourself, it is going to etch into your memory quite well. So that's about it. Now the next is joining to list itself. So you can see how we can join our two strings together. That is quite simple. We can just use L is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 23. That's all. And we are going to L1 plus L. We are going to print this and see the output. See how this get. So as you can see that our main L1 list got some new element which are 1, 2, 1 and 23. So why is that? Because we combine these two lists together using simple plus operator, and that's how we join two lists. We can join, actually we can join this way and list actually, but for now you can say, you can just keep that in mind, you can join two lists like this. Then the properties that we can find from the list, and that are min. Now there is quite some, you can say, specific case that we have to keep in mind whenever we are doing some mathematical operation. Then the list should contain every element of the same data type. That, what I am saying is, let's say we have a list like L, or maybe we should take a list L here and see what our output is. Oh, I think I forgot to print that. So as you can see that whenever I perform function on list with homogeneous elements, it gives us a result. That's also true for the max case. And but one thing to ponder is that when we use len function, it works for both just fine. And why is that? Because len actually calculates the number of element in a list. So it is not doing some calculation or some coding in the background, but just clearly giving us some the count of the elements. Also, there is quite some functions like sort and sorted. So sorted is actually an inbuilt function to sort the list, and that is also applied to the homogeneous elements. So to note, when using functions like min, max, mean, mode, median, and sort dash sort, list must be homogeneous. So that is something you should keep in mind, that whenever we are using some function like min, max, mean, mode, median, and sorted sort, list must be homogeneous. Keep this in mind, and also try sorting and finding the min and max from the list A. I know what you are thinking, that I just said that the element should contain numerical when we are trying to do some math functions, but there is quite some interesting thing that will happen if you try this yourself. So if you face an issue, you can just comment, and if you don't think that this is going to work, just comment and share your thoughts, why not. And let's see how it goes. So the last is actually the conditional statements, conditional operator. We say containment. So let's say if we want to check, what check that first, consider this print statement. Let's say if you want to see if 2 in L1, that means if you want to see that whether 2 is not in L1 or not. So that means what it gives us, that is true. That means the 2 is not present in L1. The same way we can also use 2 in, sorry, troll backspace, another one. So it is false because L1 does not contain any, you can say 2. We got 2.23 but not 2 exactly. So these are the some basic of list that everyone should know. So that's all about for today. I hope you like this video. So please do share your comments and recommendation in the through the chat, or you can say comments. So I can improve this further. So thank you.